Hi there, everybody. Today we are going to be doing a short lesson on sigma notation. So sigma notation is that little squiggly thing that you see that looks like this here, where you see there's a number on top, there's a number on at the bottom, and you see that there's a number on the right-hand side, or there's an expression on the right-hand side, right? So n is normally the last value that you substitute. That's the one on top. The one at the bottom is the first value that you substitute. And tk is going to be the expression that we substitute into. So all of that will make sense when we do an example. Let's look at an example. So normally they will tell you to either expand or evaluate. So when they ask you to expand, they want you to find normally the first three terms and the last term. If they ask you to evaluate, then what they want you to do is find the sum of the series, whether it be geometric, whether it be arithmetic, they want you to find the sum of the series. So if we look at the example we have in front of us, we have 7, we have k is equal to 1, and we have the expression 5k minus 3. And that means that the first number that we substitute into the expression is 1, okay, which is what you'll see here. And the last one you substitute is 7. And what we have on the right-hand side, these are the terms in the sequence. So tell me, if you look at this, is this an arithmetic sequence or is it a geometric sequence? It's an arithmetic sequence. Why? Because if you look at the difference, 7 minus 2 is 5, 12 minus 7 is 5. So the difference is constant. And that makes it an arithmetic sequence. So because they asked us to evaluate the sequence, means that we need to add everything together. And so our formula that we're going to use, because we have the first and the last term, is n over 2 a plus l. And we're going to substitute 7 divided by 2 times 2 plus 32. And that gives us an answer of 119. You might want to know from me, how do we know that there are 7 terms? Well, you might want to know from me how we know that there are 7 terms. Well, there's a little trick that we've learnt along the way, in that what we do is we take the top number and we subtract the bottom number and we add 1. So 7 minus 1 plus 1. Okay, that gives us 7. So that's how we know that there are 7 terms in the sequence. Let's look at the next example. We see here that we have 7 as our top number. We have r is equal to 0, and the expression that we are substituting into is 3 times 2 to the power r. So let's find out how many terms there are in the sequence. It's going to be 7 minus 0 plus 1. So there are 8 terms in this sequence, right? So we're going to substitute. First number that we substitute is 0. So, and the last one we substitute is 7. And that gives us a first term of 3 and a last term of 384. So the instruction here was to evaluate, which means that we need to find the sum of the sequence. So let's do that quickly. We have Sn is equal to a r to the power n minus 1 over r minus 1. And we substitute what we have. How many terms are there? There are 8. What's our ratio? Our ratio is 2. And our first term is 3. And all we're going to do is substitute what we have. And that gives us an answer of 765. Let's look at our last example. Our last example involves some reverse engineering, where they give you the sum and you need to actually find the formula. And what we are going to do here is, it says, write the following in sigma notation. So we have 3, negative 6, positive 12, negative 24, to n terms, right? So this is important because that's going to be the number on top. There you have n. A is our first term, so that's going to be 3. And our ratio is -2. And so what we need to first do is find our general term. So that's going to be 3 times -2 to the power n minus 1. Okay? And that's what we are going to substitute here. That's the expression that we are going to substitute into. And what's the first number that we substitute? 1. And then we're going to substitute 2, 3, and so on. We then have the general term. The general term is 3 times -2 to the power n minus 1. So that's going to be, so we write down the first 3 terms, and then we can write down our general term. So first 3 terms, dot, 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 and our general term. What are our first 3 terms? So our first 3 terms are 3, -6, +12, dot, dot, dot. Let me make those dots a little bit clearer. And then we have 3 times -2 n minus 1. Note to self, please delete that previous section. It's not necessary. We can end by 3. We can end with a sigma notation because that's all they asked us to do. Thank you so much for joining us. Please do comment, share, and subscribe, and share this with your friends. Let them join us in watching these videos. Let's learn together. Keep well, and I'll see you next time.